Welcome to Czech podcast Taekwondo, and we are in Crete, Heraklion, beautiful city, and my very special guest is Grandmaster Hutchison. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
This podcast will be a little bit special, I think, because special, and I would like to know something about you, because maybe I can find something on websites and so on. But first question, when did you start with Taekwondo?
I started Taekwondo, I think, around about 1973. And the reason for that was after watching Bruce Lee.
That's very nice. So you watched Bruce Lee and you decided to go to Taekwondo or just martial art?
Well, my name's Leslie, but I said, okay, I can imitate Bruce Lee for for some of my time. But he was inspired me for his fitness, and that's the reason I started Taekwondo, because I did many sports. And then I felt that Taekwondo was the one for me, and I wanted to make sure I could go all the way, all the way to the top.
What kind of sport you did?
I played football, I did the athletics, and I was in the teams. And then when it came competition times, then I had to pick between Taekwondo, football, and athletics.
And you stayed in Taekwondo?
I stayed in Taekwondo. I gave up these other sports to pursue my Taekwondo career.
Mm-hmm. Who was your first teacher?
My first teacher was Tom McCallum, who's now Grandmaster McCallum, and he toured the world with General Choi after leaving my teachings. Then we were taught by Riki Ha, Grandmaster Riki Ha, and then I was introduced to General Choi, and my first seminar in Vienna, and that was it. We followed him to all the other parts of the world for his knowledge and experience, and it was fantastic meeting other people who had the same passion as yourself, and it just went from there. And every time he met me, General Choi, he said, "What grade do you want to be?" So whatever grade I was, I always added +3, and he came to my hometown, and I was promoted to 7th degree. So it was a great honor in my country.
Yeah, a really great honor. What was your motivation when you started?
My motivation was purely fitness, but then when I started practicing the sparring drills, the fundamental movements for the tools, then that intrigued me because I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything correctly. So by attending general seminars, and he always mentioned purpose and method. So I studied this to make sure that when I was going up through the grades that I was enabled to be doing the technique in the correct way, but also for General Choi's approval at the seminars, and that was fantastic. So that was how I was inspired to travel and learn.
How many seminars did you attend with General?
I lost count, but we traveled many places, Poland, America, Canada, and at these times it was good because sometimes General Choi would do the seminar at the World Championships, and also meeting him there at the early championships away back, Oklahoma, etc. Special times. And even going on the first Masters seminar with General Choi before he passed, that was very special because it was a special poster with the General in his dobok. So when we travelled with him, not many people seen him in the ITF dobok, and that was super special. Yeah,
maybe 99% saw General Choi in dobok only in the book.
Yes,
but if I see some videos from recent seminars. So there is always in suit.
Yeah.
So it was special occasion.
But even like how we were sitting talking when General Choi came to my country, and we took him sightseeing, and very humble, asking about your history for your country, and he was also interested in that and your well-being, and even just for him to know your name was special, because he must meet hundreds of thousands of Taekwondo practitioners, but he knows your name when he meets you the next time, and a smile because of his communication and relationship with yourself. So that was very good. Yeah.
And your best memory of General Choi?
My best memory was obviously when we were on seminars and someone would take a special photo that I've got in my office in my house, and when you're doing technique with him, and it brings back the memories that you were always on seminars. So when people ask about one special memory, I have many. But when he gave me the loyalty award, then that meant to me my loyalty is only in one place, with the ITF, and there's not many people with this loyalty award, and that's a very proud place in my house. So, very special.
Yeah, very nice. What was later your motivation when you maybe was promoted to 7th degree?
Well, my motivation purely was to try and be the best. So by training and demonstrating, not be frightened to go up in front of the best. Like you could have the competitors at the side watching masters go up and demonstrate in front of General Choi, and then this creates a good bond that these people know that when you promote to a higher grade, that you're still a fit person, you're teaching and you can demonstrate, and then it has the respect value that these people know that you're there for a long time and motivated by personal choice, because I gave up the other sports, so I had to make sure that I was going to make it in Taekwondo, and this was really my aim. And even now, as a grandmaster, I can pinch myself and say, I got there.
And how do you feel, or what is different that you are grandmaster in your approach?
As a grandmaster, I feel that you have to try and help others always, and teaching, and you have to look the part. As a grandmaster, you have to make sure that you're helping others all the time. You're helping the ITF, supporting the ITF, making sure that my knowledge is passed on to my students, that if they can win at the championships, then you're doing something correct. Also, new people asking you to do a seminar means that you've been noticed for your journey in the Taekwondo, and this is what I feel that with trying to create the peace and the heaven on earth, and making sure that for these other people, the same as I, that Taekwondo is a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what you are saying, I can imagine, and I can see, not imagine. I'm seeing that the Taekwondo is part of your life.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Almost 50 years in Taekwondo. Yes. It's unbelievable time.
Yeah, and it's still. When we come to competitions, I still get excited. We come along and watch the best players in Europe, watch the people who have been training for years, try and get their gold medal and their super status for evermore, winning at the ITF championships. And then when people from other organizations or other sports even just watch the Taekwondo, then they know it's super special without participating. And this is a good advert that we have for ITF Taekwondo.
Mm-hmm. When we are speaking about the competition, how it changed for these almost 50 years from your point of view?
I feel we've become more technical in judging, and the competitors are more technical in their approach. They want to win at all costs, but we have the technology now to have a look at the judging from all angles to make sure that the judges are doing correctly and the competitor. So I would say it's changed, that we've come on leaps and bounds, and we're, I hope, catching up the Koreans on technique, because it's Taekwondo is super special. We're having them in the competitions as well, and this is good for the competitor to reach that standard. And by training hard, then we can all reach a standard maybe that's been unachievable in the past. So I would say we've progressed very well with the leadership that we have, and I must mention Professor Ri Young Sung. He's been a huge influence in our Taekwondo.
And how changed Taekwondo generally?
Yeah, because of COVID in my country, it was very sad that we weren't able to teach for maybe 15 months, and we could only teach on Zoom. So now it's coming back to normal, but the people are slowly coming back. But the good thing about the Zoom is people who would normally do Taekwondo have been introduced to it, but they don't want to leave the house. So we need to convince them to come back to the arenas and support. So even if we're not training in Taekwondo or you have an injury, still come along and support championships and be a supporter, because it's your life. And by coming along and showing your presence means that you're supporting, irrespective if you're doing a job. So that's what I try and implement to everyone. Yeah, I mean.
Back to normal. One question, because you run your school, big school. How many sessions do you teach per week?
I teach Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I do many private lessons, one-to-one. Mm-hmm. And the purpose of the one-to-ones mainly are to train people to be champions. And I've did this all my life, and when people win, then I know my system works. So I have many instructors throughout the UK in my organisation as well, and I travel once a month to see how they're getting on, and then take the instructors for their training to make sure that the instructors are up to standard for teaching their students. So even though I just say 2 or 3 nights with my own students, but you want to be creating the training for the high level instructors to make sure that they have the same drive as myself to be good.
So you teach always.
Yeah, so it turns out more or less every day now. Yeah, but I try and say it's not as much, but that doesn't work. And then it's a huge honour to come along to the championships and be a grandmaster, and people getting to know you and talking to you and having fun, and it inspires you after the championships to go away and teach 7 days a week again. So that's fantastic.
Another question about you. What are you doing when you are not doing Taekwondo?
Well, me and my wife, we like to holiday like everyone else, but very laid back, but we love walking as well. So we maybe walk 7 or 8 miles in the morning before breakfast. We do that. I play golf. I have a huge garden that I grow organic vegetables. Mm-hmm. So that takes up a lot of time as well, but it's therapeutic. It's a total change, and it gives you plenty of time to think. So try and eat all the right things and then stay in shape, and this has been my way of life that people say sometimes, you look a grandmaster or you don't, but then I feel a grandmaster and I feel good and for many years to come.
What do you think that you may improve more?
I think
as a grandmaster.
As a grandmaster, I think we always can improve because for the last 18 months, it's been a pleasure to go on Grandmaster Wong's courses and just to be part of it and learn, because there's always one thing that you'll pick up from the seminar that can make you think and discuss. So I'm always looking for ways to improve, and by attending these seminars, that gives you the materials to go away and study, practice, and then come back with questions to Grandmaster Wong. So I would say, like General Choi said to me, that remember, every day is a learning day. And even as a grandmaster, we can still do that. My head's always in the 15 volumes looking for technique to improve and ask the question on to make sure we're doing it correctly. So we can always improve. As a grandmaster, I'm not beneath that. Yeah. We
are not supercomputers, and we have not so good memory, and so we need to understand the techniques and so on. And I would like to say that your participation at the Zoom seminar with Grandmaster Wang was something special for me, because I got the respect to all Grandmasters who attended, because I see that this journey and this process of learning never ends.
Yes. Well, by supporting each other, I think it's very important, because in the past, people would only come on maybe a seminar to learn a specific thing or promote. It's very special to show your support when you're only taking part rather than expecting something. So by coming along and supporting all the time, it means that the ITF is in a good place, and you can inspire other people to make sure they're doing the same thing. And this is what I try and do, because we're all vital links in a chain for the ITF, and this is what makes the vehicle move forward.
Grandmaster Hutchison, I have to say thank you for this interview. Thank you for your way of life, really way of life in Taekwondo, and hope we will chat next time in the future about something else.
Okay, it's been a pleasure, and always special to meet you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.